Vietnam, a nation in South Asia, was under French colonial rule from the 19th century, but during World War II, Japan had invaded Vietnam. In response, Ho Chi Minh, a part of the French administration, rose up to form the Viet Minh, which fought to liberate Vietnam. After Japan was defeated, Bao Dai was in control, and seeing this as an opportunity, Ho Chi Minh rose up and declared the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, with him as president. Both France and Ho Chi Minh wanted a unified Vietnam, but Ho Chi Minh wanted a nation modeled after communist countries, and Bao wanted a Vietnam similar to the West. Thus, a treaty was signed at Geneva Conference, which split Vietnam down the 17th parallel.
However, tension was not resolved, and the new leader for South Vietnam, Ngo Dinh Diem, backed with U.S. support, led to the eruption of the Vietnam War on November 1, 1955.
The My Lai Massacre stemmed from previous events in the Vietnam War. The Tet Offensive, which occurred during the first 2 months of 1968, was a large military invasion of South Vietnam by North Vietnam. After 2 months of constant warfare, the United States and South Vietnamese had repelled a significant amount of the enemy from South Vietnam. Many American units were then ordered to go on the offensive against remaining pockets of enemy personnel throughout the country. The American division was sent to Mai Son, the staging ground of the 48th Battalion of the National Liberation Front, with the intention of engaging in search and destroy operations to eliminate the unit. Lieutenant William Calley led the American division into My Lai on March 16th and ordered his men to eliminate all suspected members of the NLF. The search and destroy mission to abolish the enemy quickly turned into a rampant wave of murder and destruction, after action reports indicated that many soldiers from the unit fired upon unarmed and unsuspecting women, children, and elderly. There were several soldiers who defied orders and tried to stop the killings, but regardless, many Vietnamese were gathered and executed in ditches. Homes were burned and crops destroyed. By mid-afternoon, over 300 civilians had perished, but scant evidence was ever found that would have linked the Vietnamese civilians in My Lai to the NLF.
The My Lai Massacre was one of the most horrific incidents committed against unarmed civilians. Could you imagine that this brutality was done by the hands of America, who claims to be the beacon of light against tyranny? Were we truly the saviors of innocence as we claimed, or did we become part of the darkness that destroyed hundreds of helpless?